Comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
If you know what this feels like and sounds like, well, I think it's about time to get your hands on your very own Gandalf bat. Every single bat has its own special personal touch. Whether it be your name, your team color, your own specs, or even your team logo. You just tell me what you want, and it goes on the bat.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Whether you're dreaming about a full home remodel, adding extra space for a growing family, upgrading your doors and windows, building the perfect deck, or customizing your home from the ground up, Flory Contracting has you covered. Backed by experience, driven by quality, and fueled by a passion for craftsmanship, the team at Flory Contracting is known for being reliable, local, and experienced. Ready to bring your vision to life? Call Chase Flory at 317-474-7826 to schedule your free consultation today. Flory Contracting, where your home is built on trust and skill.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
Live high above Russ Milligan Field, this is Inside the Line Media's coverage of Center Grove softball. And today's game is brought to you by Lindsey Smalling and the Smalling Group. Good evening, everybody. My name is Corbin Lingenfelter, and I am proud to be joined by an exceptional crew of members here of Inside the Lines Media to bring you live pitch-to-pitch coverage of today's contest between the New Pal Dragons and the Center Grove Trojans. Two of the voices that you will hear in just moments will be those of Brandon Tripp and also Luke Shepard as well. And I want to bring both you gentlemen in here right now. So we have a Center Grove team that's sitting at 10-5. Gentlemen, Center Grove started off this season at 3-4 at the last game I had covered them on, but they have somehow managed to find a way to pull a 7-1 record through the month of April. What do you think has been the biggest change for this team coming into today?
I really think the biggest change, they've picked up the batting a little bit. Looking at these batting averages all across the board, I'm seeing Cameron Costas almost at 600, Bryn Meyer at 510, Addie Byers at 556, and Taylor Barrett at 552. Their hitting has been phenomenal. Not only that, on the base running front for these Trojans, it's been pretty quick. Looking at that front, Addie Byers having 10 steals, Bryn Meyer, Holly Haberstro, Taylor Barrett, Brooklyn Weidegren, and Callie Johnson those are their games played. That's the wrong stat. But Bryn Meyer, 8 bases stolen, but Brooklyn Weidegren, the freshman, 13 steals on base. They have been able to pick up base steals, especially with those two players. They're looking fast. Their hitting is already coming alive. I think that's really what's brought their momentum to bring them into more wins here in the win column.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned it. The batting, the base running, getting a lot of stolen bases, but you also got to think sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to warm up into the season. You start at around a 500 pace, but then you get into it, and as you start to get further into the season, you're able to adjust, just get a little bit of momentum, and now 7-1 like you mentioned. It's absolutely just them getting warm, them getting into the season, them just getting up to their full potential as we have seen, and we got a great matchup. Two teams that are really starting off season well.
All right, they're taking on New Pal tonight, who come into this.
Nominally, they're hitting as well. Also looks very, very strong there for them, as they have some really good hitters. Looking at their lineup, they've got, I believe it's Kara Steele for New Pal, looking very strong, along with, I believe it's Sarah Miller. Bring off the stat sheet, not the roster, which doesn't help. Sadie Miller, excuse me. Yeah, that's who it is. Both strong batting averages. They'll be looking to be slugging as well. I think it's going to be a really good slugging matchup.
And if you don't mind me just chipping in a little bit here, I mean, base running is something they're going to have to severely improve on today. I mean, you mentioned for Center Grove, Widegren, 13 stolen bases on the season, as a freshman. And then you look at New Pal's base running, only 13 total on the season as a team. So that's something that they're definitely going to have to look to improve this year in terms of stolen bases, trying to, maybe add that element to their club today.
Alrighty, thank you, gentlemen. It appears our starting lineups are coming just a few minutes earlier than I was anticipating. So we will jump right into those before we take our next break. Starting off with the visiting New Pal Dragons, they'll be lined up as this on the scorer's card. They will load up with Morgan Hutchinson, who's playing left field, to lead off. Following her is Peyton Dye and Amber Hurt. And then the 4-hole hitter is Kara Steele. Sadie Miller bats 5th, and 6th is Claire Fitzgerald, the second baseman. Kenna Tweedy will be playing out in right field. The 8-hole hitter is Lindsay Gooden. And to wrap them up is Callie Cromwell to round out the batting order. And for the Center Grove defensive side, we turn things over to Braden Tripp.
On the defensive side for the Center Grove Trojans, out in the outfield, Addie Field will be out in left field. Kirsten Harden will be taking center field, and Erica Burris will be taking right field. That will be an entire senior outfield. Moving on to the infield, at first base will be the freshman Holly Haberstroh. At second will be the senior Britt Meyer. Shortstop will be Taylor Barrett. At third baseman will be the freshman Callie Johnson. And behind the plate will be junior Ava Krupa. And in the circle tonight, starting for the Trojans, will be the senior number 2, Riley Fuhrer.
So Riley Fuhrer is getting the nod in today's game. And then also on the other side is Sadie Hughbanks for New Pal. What do you expect to see from this pitching matchup?
For Riley, she's always consistent. She's usually this team's starter. I'm expecting to see her go out, pitch them really tight across the line, being a little bit aggressive there across the plate. I'm expecting her to see catching some batters out swinging or out looking as here she starts this game.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to the pitching, I mean, they're going to have to show out. They've had a good pitching crew this season, and I mean, getting the start today, Fuhrer, she's going to, I'm sorry, trying to get the stat sheet here of her pitching on this season. Just had it open a minute ago. There she is. Sorry for Center Grove.
No worries, Luke.
Sorry
That's all right. We're gonna go ahead and move on as we are getting ever closer to our national anthem. More to come next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you all please rise and remove your hats as we honor America?
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
tonight is Lambert Barnes and Nate Robinson.
And welcome back out here atop Russ Milligan Field. Corbin Leakbill alongside Brandon Tripp and Luke Shepard. We are getting ever closer to the start of today's game between the Center Grove Trojans and the New Pal Dragons. And it's a beautiful night for softball. And for more on that, we turn things over to Brandon Tripp.
Weather report right now on the Weather Authority app. 63 degrees, mostly cloudy. Sun is peeking out around. Looks a little more partly cloudy here. Feels like 61 with a low humidity with the dew point of 44 and winds out of the west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. That wind will be especially critical here as it will be moving pretty much sweeping out of left field into right field. So that will be looking to have a little bit of an effect, especially on the hitting if a ball gets airborne and gets deep out into the outfield.
Alrighty, thank you, Brandon. And one thing I want to bring up, an unofficial statistic that was provided to us just before we went on the air today. New Pal is the only team that Center Grove does not have a winning record against in the last 32 years. What do you expect to see from Center Grove to kind of right that ship?
I'm expecting them to just try and be consistent as they have been, being a little bit aggressive pitching-wise, hitting-wise. Looking for them to be aggressive, really swinging at it. If they see a pitch they like, they're going to want to go for it.
All righty, thank you, gentlemen. Riley Fuhrer on the mound. First offering misses for ball number 1. Up to the plate is Morgan Hutchinson. She's the left fielder. Bats lefty, facing off against the righty in Fuhrer. First and third, stepping in close. Second offering, missing again for ball number 2. So 2 balls, no strikes early on to Hutchinson.
A correction there. The scoreboard reads 1 ball, 1 strike there, Corbin.
All right, the umpire changed on me. It's a 2-1 count now. Next offering, outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And Riley really looking on the outside of that plate. I think she's going to really want to be looking at trying to get one there down the middle.
And the next offering, strike called, strike 2. Finding that outside part of the plate. Fuhrer kicks and deals, swinging, and that's fouled back into the fence.
Just swung on that one there. Didn't get that barrel there where she wanted it. Looked like it hit off the top of the barrel. Pitch just going a little bit high, but a pitch that looked good there.
And the payoff coming, and this one's inside for ball number 4, and an early walk for Hutchinson as she reaches.
Very uncharacteristic opening hit there for Fuhrer. More usually you see her pitching, but probably looking to find her rhythm and getting into the zone here as we start off this one.
Next up is Peyton Dye, the third baseman. She bats right. And strike 1 called early. Hutchinson with a modest lead, or excuse me, not a lead. She kind of started to take off for a steal there at first, but instead backtracked herself around, and this one's going to be smacked into the parking lot over our right shoulders.
And it looked like that ball just bounced off of my car. And that hit there, another one, looked pretty good, but now we're into a pitcher's count here of 0-2. Look, Fuhrer really is going to have an advantage.
And this one's fouled back. So in other words, if you're Brandon's auto insurance agent, expect a call from him later on tonight. Foul ball.
Didn't look like it took too much of a hit. It ricocheted off the roof of the car just next to mine, so a little tap.
And the next offering, that misses low for ball 1.
Fuhrer now starting to get balls pitched there down the center of the plate, not really pitching them right or left.
Righty on righty matchup, missing low again for ball 2. Brandon, if there's any ever piece of advice you take from me, it's never park close to a baseball or softball field. Next offering, this one smacked up in the air, heading towards right center, and the right fielder has it in the glove, and an early retirement for Peyton Dye.
And a good job there from the senior Erica Burris, getting under it, conversing with her center fielder teammate of Kirsten Harden. She had the sun there in her eyes, which is typical in this time of day, about 6 o'clock Eastern time, staring pretty much at the sun out and right. She did a great job getting under that, keeping her eyes on that ball.
And this one's fouled back into the backstop. And for those of you keeping track, first pitch came at 5:58 and 45 seconds. So strike one called early on the foul tip by Amber Hurt. She's the designated player in today's game for New Pal. Dealing with one out and one person on first. Strike two called, finding the outside corner.
Pierce pitch is starting to get a little bit more consistent in that strike zone.
And the next offering, this one's a little grounder to short and dropped by the shortstop there, out there on the field. And that is Taylor Barrett.
And that's one there. You really want to keep a hold of that if you have a shot at a double play. I think she got a little bit rushed in trying to get that ball thrown. Didn't take the time to secure the ball in her hand. And even if she couldn't get that double, at least getting it over to first to at least get one out would be really, really good for them.
I will score that as an error on the shortstop as the first offering misses low and outside for ball one to Kara Steele.
Fier now going to have to think about how she's got runners now on first and second. She's going to have to keep pitches really consistent.
Strike called there by the umpire behind the plate for strike one. Evens the count up at 1-1. Fuhrer kicks and fires, and this one misses low for ball number two. 2-1 count. Riley checks back over at the coaching staff in Center Grove's dugout. She will kick, she will fire, and this one's fouled back into the net.
Steele reaching on that a little bit. That ball looked like it was going outside. Ball hitting off the tip of her bat. Those are ones you really don't want to reach for. You want to really look for ones a little bit closer so that you will easily be able to get a little bit more of the bat on to that ball.
2-2 count coming, and Fuhrer kicks and fires. This one's going to be shot towards left field, going back on it, making the catch, and forcing every runner to retreat backwards was Addison Wolf.
Yeah, that hit kind of helped out the outfield a little bit. Didn't really attract too much wind. The ball just kind of stayed right on course, right for the left outfield, and it was too easy for Center Grove.
For Wolf there, having to backpedal just a little bit, and she did a great job there on that backpedal. Didn't have to do a lot of it. Had to do a little bit of it, though. Those are always hard ones.
And ball one called on the first offering to Claire Fitzgerald, the second baseman. Runners stand on first and second base. Hutchinson reached on a walk, and Hurt reached on an error. And the next offering goes outside for ball two to Fitzgerald. Excuse me, that is Miller. And this one's fouled into the stands and caught by a spectator. I don't think they get to keep those ones.
No, the softball team usually gets those back, but that ball, again, a little bit outside, caught that edge, probably a little bit late on the swing.
Next offering to Miller, that one misses.
On those late swings, those are going to get a little bit of a worse impact, and that will send it over onto either side, depending on if you're lefty or righty. It'll send it over the respective baseline.
3-1 count. And another walk there as Miller will reach on walk. And that brings up Fitzgerald.
In this situation for Fuhrer, the first time tonight, fully loaded bases. She's going to have to be perfect on the pitching.
And strike one call to Fitzgerald, the second baseman. Runners on all the bases. Newpal trying to get on the board early first, and Fuhrer kicks and fires. This one shot foul, back into the stands and out of play. So it's going to be a 0-2 count for Fitzgerald. Next offering, shot over the second baseman's head. That's going to score one run, maybe two. Here comes the second run. Third run coming in, and not in time. No play at the plate as a nice blooper over the head of the second baseman gets through, and Newpal goes up early. It's 3-0.
And a great hit there from Claire Fitzgerald, finding the gap between the center fielder and the right fielder. That one getting a good bounce, forcing them to have to run back to the fence and having to scramble to get that ball up and get it into play, and that will end up getting 3 runs there for the Dragons.
Kenna Tweedy checks in now. She stands right-handed against the righty. First offering misses low for ball one. Tweedy is the right fielder for Newpal. Next offering inside, ball two. Two balls, no strikes with 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Newpal on top, 3-0 on Center Grove. Runner on second, and this ball is shot foul over the head of the bleachers and out of play. Will kick in deal, and this one's going to be shot down the first base line again, giving chase and out of play again. We at Inside the Lines Media would like to thank our sponsors for today, including the Lindsey Smalling and the Smalling Group. Ball goes foul. For sponsoring today's game, Gandalf Bats, our scoreboard sponsor, and Flory Contracting as well. And don't forget, Ferguson Excavation is the proud sponsor of all Inside the Lines Media content. This ball hit on the ground, picked up by Barrett on to first in time, and that goes in as a 6-3 retirement of the side. 3 runs come around and score. 1 error in the inning, 1 runner left on. Center Grove is up to bat next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
Welcome back. This is Inside the Lines Media's coverage of Center Grove softball. As we are sitting high atop Russ Milligan Field in Brandon, that was a really rough inning for the Trojans to start out, giving up 3 runs early.
Yeah, pitching there from Riley a little bit inconsistent, but the fielding there looked a little bit different there. Of course, that missed pickup there by the shortstop of, I should know this name off the top of my head. Barrett, yes, thank you. Taylor Barrett missing that pickup. Ball getting hit out into right field. That's what allowed the runs to get scored. It got hit between center and right, finding the gap. That ball went back to the fence, and that would allow the runs to score, but it would eventually end up being held to 3. So that will be a little bit of a help here as the Trojans now come up to bat and will now have to put power into the bats.
All righty, thank you. And leading off this inning is Bryn Meyer. Plays second base. Following her is Addison Wolf and Taylor Barrett. Those are the 3 we're guaranteed to see.
Leading off for your Trojans,
As Meyer will step in the left-handed batter's box. It's a lefty on righty matchup. She faces off against Sadie Eubanks for New Pal. Third baseman crouching in. Meyer shows bunt, pulls back, and first offering outside, ball one. Both pitchers attempting to find the strike zone in terms of width and away early on in their pitch counts. Eubanks kicks and deals. Taken high, ball two.
And you can see Meyer, she kind of uses that bunt position as almost like a measure for the pitch before she really reads it, and she does a good job. Obviously, the runs and hits leader for this Trojan team.
Meyer pulls back. Here's the next offering. Shot straight to the third baseman's glove. They don't call it the hot corner for any reason other than that. And it's an early out there for Center Grove. Meyer goes out on the line.
And that was great contact there from Meyer. Just a little bit of an unlucky flight of that ball. Didn't get up there high enough. It looked like she maybe didn't go all the way through her swing. It looked like she might have stopped just a little bit short of her follow through, and she was already darting off, but just an unlucky flight of that ball.
Addison Wolf up to the plate, and strike called on the outside portion. Eubanks gets the signal. Wolf steps back in. Eubanks kicks and deals, and this one's going to be blooped out of the third baseman's glove, picked up by the shortstop, but Wolf will reach base.
The shortstop Miller, she, I think, was expecting that ball just to go right where she wanted it, but then that got tipped off the third baseman's glove, and that just altered the trajectory of that ball. So then it had a lot of different spin as it hit the ground. It took a weird, interesting bounce.
And the first offering to Taylor Barrett goes outside, ball one. Your thoughts? Finish your thoughts.
And
there?
that interesting bounce allowing Wolf to get on to base and allowing her to be safe, and now we have a runner on to try and help get some scoring in.
All right, 1-0 count coming. Eubanks kicks and fires, misses for ball two. And the third offering coming from Eubanks, and a steal attempt going down. Sliding in time is Wolf at second base, so Wolf swipes the bag, and that also goes for ball number three.
And a wide throw there from Gooden to the second baseman. That's when you really want to keep there straight down. The wind may have caught that one just a touch, but that ball just uncharacteristically wide.
And strike one called right down the center of the plate.
And we kind of mentioned the stolen base matchup going into this, game, and obviously 43 total stolen bases on the season from the Trojans, and only 13 from New Pal. And we've already seen it there early. They attacked it. They wanted to get it right away, and Addison Wolf did a great job stealing second.
And that ball goes off of Barrett's front leg for a foul, so it takes this count full at 3-2. Eubanks kicks and fires down to third base and caught. Both outs there coming from that third baseman who is committed to go and play at NC State. And I don't think you want to be hitting in that direction anymore, good gentlemen.
No, you're going to want to keep that one over her head or hitting it into other bits of the field. With a D1 commit like that, she's going to be ready to catch them if they're low, and she has proven that already so far tonight.
And that is Peyton Dye, committed to go play at NC State for her future academic and athletic career. Holly Haberstraw steps in, the first baseman. Left-handed batter taking on the righty in Eubanks. First offering missed for ball number one. Second offering is high, ball two. As the catcher stares down Wolf at second base before throwing back to Eubanks on the circle. So 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs here. Runner on second. Eubanks kicks and deals. Strike called. Haberstraw steps back in. Next offering, shot down the first base line. Did it stay fair? Yes, it did, and that's going to score Wolf from second base. The right fielder has a little bit of trouble with it. They're going to send Haberstraw on to third, slides in safely with a triple, and Center Grove gets one run on the board now. It is 3-1.
And that was a great hit there from Haberstraw, keeping it hugging the first base line. That was really, really close to maybe turning over foul, but able to get the bounce just a few inches off of that line. And the right fielder, you cannot make that mistake gathering the ball. Of course, you're running, trying to grab it, and you're thinking ahead. Okay, I need to get here, need to get here, need to get second. Gathering it up and just losing focus and ending up fumbling the ball, allowing a runner to now get across the plate.
Ball one to Callie Johnson. Goes low, the third baseman for Center Grove. Runner in scoring position is Haberstraw. Eubanks kicks and fires, ball taken high. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs here, bottom of the first inning. 3-1 is our score. New Pal over Center Grove early on. Next offering. Ball inside and low. 3-0 count as the wind starts to pick up here at Russ Milligan Field. Eubanks kicks and deals. And strike one called. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Next offering from Eubanks. This one's going to be shot heading towards right field. Finds a gap and it hits the fence. And coming in to score is Haberstraw. And they get the ball back in quickly to hold Johnson at first. But Center Grove is now 1 run away from tying this game up. It's 3-2.
And a great hit there from Johnson, finding the gap. There have now been 2 hits tonight, finding the gap in between right and center field. Wind definitely going to be helping get the ball to drop there, but the right fielder there doing a great job to gather it up to hold Johnson at first.
And foul tip early on for Ava Krupa, the catcher. Makes it strike 1. Krupa is the 6th batter in this order. And Eubanks will kick and fire, and that one misses low for ball 1. Runner on first base. And swinging, strike number 2 to Ava Krupa.
Now, to those of you who are not regulars in watching softball, if you're regulars to watching baseball, you'll see baseball players will take a lead.
Ball outside.
But here in softball, you are not allowed to take a lead when you're looking to steal, so you'll see players just jump off the bag after the pitch so that they, in case they want to steal, they can go and take it.
And the 2-2 away. This one's a high flyer heading towards shallow right. Right fielder has a beat on it, makes the catch, and will retire the side. 2 runs come around and score. 1 runner was left on base. 1 error in the inning. As we head to the top of the second next, this is Inside the Lines Media.
If you know what this feels like and sounds like, well, I think it's about time to get your hands on your very own Gandalf bat. Every single bat has its own special personal touch. Whether it be your name, your team color, your own specs, or even your team logo. You just tell me what you want, and it goes on the bat.
Back atop Russ Milligan Field, and our scoreboard has just reset. Somebody didn't pay the electric bill. As we are getting ready to start this second inning, and as we get ready to do so, I want to try something new. Let's bring in our color analyst, one of them, Brandon Tripp. Brandon, I want you to tell your broadcasting story. Why do you want to be in this field? And tell us more about yourself.
So, I have been a huge fan of sports. I've watched sports pretty much all my life. I've probably jumped around multiple different sports. I've always, though, had a thing for racing and IndyCar specifically, being here in the Hoosier State, the 500, all of a lot there. And I've just loved listening to the voices. Alan Bestwick was one I really grew up listening to all the time. Radio, on the radio network side of things, Mark Janes has been the one I've pretty much heard all my life. And then, of course, Will Buxton and Lee Diffie coming in to broadcast as well.
Ball one taken.
And then I came into high school and I was like, I want to do broadcasting. We have a publications class, so I'll join it, see what it's about. Didn't have broadcasting that opportunity, but I had a photography opportunity taking on with sports.
And that's going to miss outside for ball two.
And then with that, I was like, okay, we'll run with this. Enjoyed it. Pretty much loved it. And I've been around these sports teams pretty much almost all of high school.
A shot heading towards the gap in left field. Caught, though, without any sort of trouble. So an early out there. Lindsey Gooden goes down. Continue, Brandon.
And then with that, I've pretty much grown, becoming the editor of our Trojaner Sports page, taking pictures through the yearbook, experiencing a bunch. And then Chris came to both the advisors, Miss Warner and Mrs. Tedrow, and was like, I want to get students involved. And I was like, this is the moment. I don't want to get rid of this. And so I picked it up. I was like, this is another avenue, and I think this is something I've had fun doing it already here through the month of April.
Ball one taken to Cromwell.
And I'm just excited to see what can happen here through the month of May. And then as I get to college, I just want to carry it through. And honestly, I see this growing as well, and I want to see both. I have two avenues I can really take, and I'll probably pick up more in college, see what else can happen.
Ball two taken outside. That is Brandon Tripp. If you want to help a student like Brandon, I'm sorry, it's a ball and a strike. I saw the umpire. Ball hit flat and down that third base line and picked up for a single for Cromwell. Finishing the read, if you want to help a student like Brandon begin his broadcasting careers, get a hold of Chris Wood at chris@InsideTheLinesMedia.com to learn more about sponsorship opportunities with Inside the Lines Media. Now we're back to the top of the order. Morgan Hutchinson steps in. She walked her last time up, ended up coming around and scoring. Strike one taken.
And fierce pitching already this inning. Looking a little bit more consistent, looking a little more like Riley Fuhr. And it's been pretty much keeping it close to the plate and trying to get batters looking and swinging.
And that's a little blooper foul down the left field line. So that's no balls and two strikes. With one out here, 3-2 game. Center Grove on top. Center Grove trailing New Pal. Fuhr kicks and deals. This ball high, and that's going to give the runner on first a chance to steal, and she does. So Claire Cromwell swipes second base on the wild pitch.
And a very rare mistake on that release. That release just didn't get it out of her hand where she wanted it. Instead, getting a little bit of a looping pitch up to the fence, and that will allow that steal to be perfect.
This one shot into shallow left and scooped up, and no issue there with that one. Making the catch was Addison Wolf.
And that one there made in the shade, no sun to deal with, but she also really didn't have to move. Those are ones you want as an outfielder with those fly balls. You want to be able to just stop, stay where you are, plant yourself, and just let that ball get in your glove.
And a hot shot heading down the right field line and foul.
Pretty sure that one just hit Brandon's car again.
Nope.
Potentially. Was it very close?
Very close, about a car over, bouncing off the bed of a truck.
And the 0-1 away, missing low for ball one. That's Peyton Dye up to the plate, the third baseman. Phenomenal plays there in the bottom half of the first inning. Ball missing outside. Makes this count 2-1. So far in this inning, Addison Wolf has earned herself credit. She's had both outs to this point. Next offering, a high flyer pop-up heading into shallow right. grabbed by the second baseman, and that's how the inning will retire. One runner left on, no errors, no run come around to score. We'll be back with the bottom of the second next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
And back out here at Russ Milligan Field, the home of tonight's Center Grove softball game, and you are able to watch this game. And special thanks to some of our sponsors here on Inside Lines Media, like Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company. They sponsor our player of the game. Ferguson Excavation as well, the sponsor of all Inside the Lines Media content. Lindsey Smalling and the Smalling Group, Gandalf Bats, and Flory Contracting as well. Special thank you to you for your help and your sponsorship. Leading off is Kirsten Harden for Center Grove. Ball called inside. Harden, the center fielder. This is her first at bat. And this one's shot down the first base line and foul. I think it just hit a three-pointer. And crickets from everybody. And Chris wonders why I don't tell jokes when I do play-by-play. Ball missing low. That makes this a 2-1 count. Three-2 game. Trojans trailing by 1. We are at the bottom of the second inning. Still on the mound is Eubanks for New Pal. She will kick, she will deal, and this one's going to be shot towards left field. Left fielder has a beat on it. Right, the center fielder comes in as well, but she waves her off, and that's going to retire Harden on the fly out to left.
And you saw both the center and the left fielder pretty much, they kept running. And you then right there at the last second heard the left fielder just calling off Cornwell, and that was good communication. That's what you want in that outfield.
And first offering taken for strike one to Erica Burris, the right fielder. Eubanks kicks in, deals, ball taken high. 1-1 count. With one out here. And another ball outside. A good-sized crowd for some, what is today, Wednesday evening baseball? Excuse me, Wednesday evening softball. And that goes for a strike, so it's a 2-2 count. The next offering outside, ball 3, makes it full. Payoff pitch coming from Eubanks. She will kick, she will deal, and this one's going to be blooped down to short. Out of the shortstop's glove and on to first base goes Burris as she reaches on the error.
And there it looked like Sadie Miller. She just stayed up a little bit. She didn't get that glove all the way down into the turf, which with a ball of that being that low to the ground, you want your glove on the ground so that the ball can just roll right into it, and then you can just squeeze, bring your hand over, and then get up and get ready to get that throw. But instead, it will advance runner on to first.
Brooklyn Whittigren looks at ball 1 outside. As the next offering is just moments away. Burris in the runner's stance on first. She will kick, she will deal, and ball taken low. Steal attempt coming out of the shortstop's glove. And just making it is Erica Burris. That was really close there.
and that ball looked just off center there of the base. It just went over. Good thing they had the second baseman there to kind of back up the shortstop, because that ball went. It could have been an advancement to third or worse.
And next offering taking strike number 1.
And when I say worse for New Pal, really good for Center Grove.
It's a 2-1 count with 1 out. Runner on second. That's Burris. Next offering to Whittegren, blooped up. Third baseman's got in the glove, not in time at first. And Center Grove will put runners on the corners as we head to the top of the lineup.
From Whittegren, great speed. Something you really want to see as the wind picks up like crazy. Speed's one you want here, and that definitely got Burris there. That quick little hit could have been a sacrifice out, but instead you'll put runners on the corners.
Nearly a fielder's choice as Bryn Meyer steps back in. Eubanks will kick and deal, and this one's going to be popped up down the third base line. Dye waves him off and makes the catch and retires Meyer on 1 pitch. That's the second out. And Center Grove was sending Whittegren down to second base, but she had to backtrack with that foul ball. Addison Wolf steps in now. She reached on an error on shortstop last time up, so in the statistical category, this is her first at-bat attempt. And strike 1 taken, swinging.
Whittegren there, going to be able to get the steal, and if I can get the stats pulled up here, with all of this wind that we have up here.
I believe it's the 14th stolen base for her on the season.
Her, and it just shows she's fast, she is decisive.
And a swinging strike number 2 called to Wolf. As Wolf steps out of the box to recalibrate in this lefty on righty matchup. And here's the offering outside for ball 1. New Pal fans not happy about the call, Brandon, but I believe it's the right one.
Yeah, it looked like it was the right one. Just stayed outside and didn't really get close to the plate, and there wasn't really a lot of swinging that happened there either.
And the 1-2 away to Wolf. Here's the offering. This one's going to be fouled back and over the trees, bounces off the asphalt and into the woods.
Went a little bit over towards the lacrosse soccer field area. I don't know if we call it bullpens here, softball, but over down the first base line, Kara Beaver getting warmed up, so possibly a pitching change may be coming at the top of the inning.
And another ball taken there by Addison Wolf. Makes this count even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third base. Eubanks steps back into the circle. Wolf ready for her offering. Eubanks kicks, deals, and this one taken. Strike 3 called on the outside portion, and that's the first strikeout from either side in today's game. As we had 2 runners left on, no one scores, and there was 1 error in the inning. We head to the top of the third inning next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
And welcome back out here at Russ Milligan Field. Corbin Lingenfelter, proud to bring you today's coverage of Inside the Lines Media Center Grove softball. as we are getting set for the top of the third inning. Leading off this inning is Amber Hurt, the designated player. She reached on an error on shortstop her last time up. That was back in the first inning. Ended up getting a score out of it. That one is looked at for strike number one.
And a good pitch there from Fuhr, a little bit off speed and low. Be able to catch Hurt out swinging here early.
And the next offering way outside for ball one. As Fuhr looks over at the dugout, gets a little blooper heading down towards second base. In the glove, on to first in time. And that'll go in as a 4-3 ground out.
Now that one had a little bit of a roll there, and I think it was a good idea that Fuhr didn't try to field that one. That was a little bit close there on that throw, but Fuhr just letting that one go out to Bren, getting it then over to Haberstroh. Now Fuhr, yes, could have grabbed it, but there could have been a weird hit or it could have taken a weird bounce. So good on her for staying in the circle and just letting it roll to her second baseman.
Stepping in now is Amber Hurt. And first offering goes for ball one. So Peyton Dye goes down on the 4-3. Hurt with a 1-0 count. Next offering, outside, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out here in the early portions of the third. Last inning was scoreless for both sides as the next offering, kick in deal, strike one taken.
Pitch nice and outside, but not too outside, just heading onto the edge of home plate there, and that's always a good one to have ready to go.
Fuhr kicks and deals. This one's going to go down the first base line, and Haberstroh cannot get it as it is over the Center Grove dugout and out of play. So that evens the count up at 2-2. Hurt is the designated player. She hits for Eubanks, the pitcher. She steps back in. And offering outside, ball three.
In these full count situations, you've got to be careful with what you throw. You'll want to get something close to the plate, but you want to maybe also be able to get the batter to get caught swinging or caught looking.
Swinging, strike three call. And that is Fuhr's first strikeout of the game. And also, I was saving this statistic till after that pitch. That is also the first time that she's gotten an out on a full count.
It's always good to have those pitches there where you can go and catch the batters out swinging. Those are always good ones to keep in your back pocket. Other good ones to have in your back pocket. Quick ones to keep them looking. Those will always catch them out.
Kara Steele steps in, looking to avoid the 1-2-3 inning as she looks at ball one outside. Fuhr kicks and deals. A hot shot heading towards short to Barrett. On to Haberstroh at first in time, and that will retire the side. 3 batters come up, 3 batters go down. No runs score and no errors in that inning. We head to the bottom of the third next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
And back out at Russ Milligan Field, this is Inside the Lines Media, as we are providing you live pitch-to-pitch coverage of Center Grove softball taking on the New Pal Dragons. And there is a third member of our crew who we will introduce to you a little bit later on, as we will set the lineup for you. Taylor Barrett, Hallie Haberstraw, and Callie Johnson will be the 3 Center Grove batters we will see in this inning. Third member of our crew tonight is Luke Shepard. Foul ball called. Dye scooped it up and threw on to first, but it was no need for that. And Luke Shepard, you are a student at Franklin College. Why don't you share with us your story in broadcasting?
Yeah, well, I started at Avon High School, and Avon High School had kind of a young program at that time. They had just started doing sports broadcasting only about a year after I joined the program.
Foul ball down the left field line.
And I was kind of one of the first people who was really excited and open about doing broadcasting, right away and just kind of jumping in. I got to do football and basketball and got to experience a lot of great things while also, working on the newspaper staff alongside doing a live newscast for our TV program.
Ball outside.
And then moving on to Franklin, I thought I was going to go to a different college for the longest time, because I was kind of recruited there and my teacher was from there, and so I was kind of had a pipeline. But
ball taken high.
But Franklin College ultimately just felt like the best decision for me, and I felt like now getting my experience, I've gotten to go to so many great events early on. Just now I'm just a sophomore right now.
And this little blooper heading into the gap between second and short, and reaching is Taylor Barrett.
And a good decision to stay on first there. But anyway, I've been able to get a lot of opportunity going to the NFL Combine, going to the March Madness Final Four Press Day, and just such great events, being able to talk to great people like Ian Eagle, a legendary broadcaster I've watched for a long time, getting to have a conversation with someone like that. Just so many experiences that, not even related to journalism, but also just within that field, covering politics, sports, and just a wide range of topics.
And first offering to Haberstraw goes outside for ball one.
It's just all been very, very beneficial for me, and getting this another opportunity to call some softball, and here at Center Grove, which they take their softball seriously here. It's a really great experience, and I'm really thankful for our producer Chris Wood for that opportunity. So it's just been a great experience at Franklin, and just building on as many opportunities as I can get.
Haberstraw with a 2-0 count, and if you want to help the broadcasting careers of students like Luke Shepard, get a hold of Chris Wood at chris@InsideTheLinesMedia.com to learn more about sponsorship opportunities. And ball 3 taken outside. Haberstraw reached on a triple her last time up. That brought in 1 run around.
Just watching out to first.
And ball 4 called.
I was about to say watching out to first there before the walk. I was just watching Taylor Barrett there. She was taking some very quick leads there as the pitch was probably about halfway down between the circle and the catcher's mitt. And she was taking some pretty big runs, in my opinion. They looked very big, and it looked like it could have put her into a pickle, as they call it.
Callie Johnson is up to the plate now. As she looks at ball number 1. Johnson reached first base her last time up and earned herself an RBI, bringing in Haberstraw from third. And time is called as the pitching coach comes out and wants to have a word with her pitcher, Eubanks.
The words probably from the coach are just, you've done great this game, okay? A little bit out of the zone. A little bit of something looks like a change. Find your rhythm, get back in the zone, do what you do best. And that's going to be something that will help her pitcher out here, hopefully for the rest of her pitch, as there will be some bullpen action out down the third base line over in the corner of left field.
Alrighty, we will have Brandon keep an eye on that and let us know if anything looks like we may see a change. But, as we mentioned earlier, Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company is the sponsor of our Player of the Game. Stick around for our post-game coverage, where we will give out that honor to one of these ladies. The meeting is over. Eubanks stays in on the circle As she kicks and fires first offering, bunt shown, throw down to third, away it goes. I can't tell, did that hit Johnson as it was trying to go down?
It looked like it might have hit Johnson, but it also looked like it might have just been a very late release. One of those things you never see in baseball or in softball is a release like that that just goes down into the turf. Very uncharacteristic.
The reason I mentioned that is the way Dye was reacting was it was almost like she was trying to get a interference call that would have possibly put Barrett out if the umpires ruled that the throw would have been in time. 3 balls, no strikes to Johnson. Strike one called just as I said that. So it's a 3-1 count. Runners on second and third. Barrett's at third. Haberstraw's at second. And this one's blooped up towards left field and caught. And they're going to send Barrett home, and she slides in safely. And Haberstraw nearly trips over the third base bag. So it's going to be a sacrifice there out to center.
And a nice sac fly there, allowing Taylor Barrett to be able to put the speed on. That ball did get thrown in. If the catch was a little bit closer to the plate and it was just a little more on time, it could have been really close, but Barrett able to get across the plate, and then it will allow Haberstraw to be 1 base away from scoring.
And that would be the tie-breaking run as we now sit at 3-3. Time is called by the umpire.
Very quickly in this time out in the bullpen. It looks like they are switching out between Ava LaPenta and Caitlin Hurst for New Pal.
And ball taken outside to Krupa. Victim of a fly out her last time up. Runner on third with only 1 out here, ball 1. The next offering, and this one shot into the gap between first and second. That'll score Haberstraw. And Krupa will watch from first base as that ball is quickly thrown in. But the bats are starting to heat up now for Center Grove.
And that's always a good thing to see the bats heating up. A good hit from Krupa getting up in the air. The first baseman was standing there. Sun may have been in her eyes if she may not have seen it until last second. It was like, oh, ball's going right by me. Getting in a nice gap, getting down on the ground. Always good to have those going in. And there will be a courtesy runner for Center Grove.
Yeah, we will get a name for you on that momentarily. As
believe it is, if I can read my roster in this wind.
Cameron Casas.
Yes.
So Casas takes over at first base for Krupa as she has catching duty she has to do. And fly ball heading foul and out of play. Up to the plate now is Kirsten Harden, the center fielder. She looks at an 0-1 count. Banks kicks in, deals. Casas goes down to second, slides. Did she get there in time? No, she did not. The field umpire calls her out, sliding into second. A very close play there at second base.
And that looks like the right call there. That throw on time, on line, caught. I believe that was by the shortstop. And just able to get the tag. Casas, just not enough speed to get there.
And with bases cleared, Harden looks at ball 1.
It'll be a pitcher's count with no one on base. You can rest a little easier as a pitcher in your pitches. You can be a little bit not as aggressive. You still want to be as aggressive on the pitches.
And a shot heading towards left field. Left fielder going back on it. Makes the catch in time. And that's going to retire this side. No one left on, no errors in that inning. 2 runs come around to score. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
And back out here at Russ Milligan Field, Corbin Lebo alongside Brandon Tripp and Luke Shepard. Chris Wood doing a phenomenal job as our producer for today's game, as we are getting set for the top of the 4th inning. Center Grove took the lead in that last bottom half, scoring 2 runs. It's now 4-3. And Fuhrer continues to get the nod on the circle. She will remain in the game despite bullpen activity from the Center Grove side about an inning or 2 ago. Leading off this inning is Sadie Miller, the shortstop. Reached on a walk her first time up back in the 1st inning, and she would come around and score. First offering outside for ball 1.
And Corbin, very quickly, I want to go back to that last play in the bottom of the 3rd. There, Morgan Hutchinson looked like she was really dancing around there in the outfield, like moving around, a lot of backpedaling. I was a little bit surprised she caught that. She really looked like she was moving around a lot.
And another ball taken outside. That's 2 balls, no strikes.
And that movement could have had a big effect, but she was able to get under that ball and get the catch to retire that side.
And the 3rd offering from Fuhrer. Check swing, did not go around for ball 3.
Yeah, Fuhrer had a really good last couple of innings here, but starting off a little bit, Cole just having to get back into her rhythm, get back into her momentum. There were a lot of times last inning, so we'll see if she can stay warm.
And strike 1 called. Miller thought she had the free pass. The umpire says pump the brakes.
Her bat was already back, and she had already tossed it. She was already so confident, but just got to listen that extra split second.
And there's no question about that one. Ball 4, walk. And Miller takes first base.
Now batting for the Dragons, number 37, Kenna Tweedy.
3rd walk by Fuhrer today. And that brings up Claire Fitzgerald. Reached on a double her last time up. And she looks at strike 1. Next offering, fouled into the backstop.
Looked like she was reaching there, Tweedy, really reaching on that pitch. You don't really want to reach on a lot of pitches that are outside here with 1 strike. There in the count that she had, reaching is never your best friend. You want to wait for a pitch that gets where you want it, where you can get really good contact and try and put the ball out into play.
0-2 counts Fitzgerald. This one swung back into the backstop again. Runner on first base. Righty on righty matchup. No activity in the Center Grove bullpen, but a lot of activity over there in the New Pal one. And this one's going to be shot down first base line outside the glove of Haberstroh, and that's going to be called foul.
She's lucky that was foul, but that was already such a hard way. She was standing. She was back to the ball, trying to look over her shoulder. Those are the trickiest plays to do, and having to try and watch the ball while facing the other way, you never want to do that.
And the next offering's a little hot shot to Barrett on second, on to first. Haberstroh got her. A double play by the Center Grove Trojans. It's a 6-4-3.
And a beautiful 6-4-3 there. Just perfect timing. That throw to first was very close, but very timely. And those are things you want to see as a timely throw, and that will be perfect here for the Trojans.
That brings up Kenna Tweedy, the right fielder. Went down on a 6-3 ground out back in the 1st inning. She's 0 for 1. First offering, check swing, ball outside. Fuhrer will kick in deal. Again missing, ball 2. The wind is starting to pick up. This ball's sent down towards the foul line. Will it stay fair? But it does not matter, as Center Grove will retire the side as no runners were left. Yes, no runners were left on, no runs scored, and no errors in that inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
Russ Milligan Field is the site of this bottom of the fourth inning. I'm Corbin Lingenfelter. Alongside me is Brandon Tripp and Luke Shepard. Center Grove coming up to bat now. They lead 4-3 over New Pal, and that was a great inning by them with the bats starting to get hot back in the third.
Yeah, and bats getting hot, that's always something you like to see. They're starting to find their form. And usually on this, for this team especially, they are very strong here in this middle of the game. This is usually where you see them heat up drastically, and we're seeing it right now. The heat is starting to get turned up.
Erica Burris will lead off. She reached on an error her last time up, as she looks at ball one over her shoulder. Also this inning, we will see Whittegren and Meyer. Next offering, strike taken on the outside portion of the plate. One count. And this one's going to be shot and out of play.
A little bit close for comfort there.
A 1-2 count. No outs. Here's the offering. Ball taken high. I think what amazes me the most, Brandon and Luke, is we've only seen 2 strikeouts in this game to this point.
Yeah, and that just goes to show how the pitching and
that's looked at for ball number 3.
And how the hitting game's been, too. There's been a lot of hits in this game. They're not really good. And a lot of good plays out in the field, too. Those are things you like to see, but strikeouts very rare for this one.
And a swinging foul tip into the backstop.
And just kind of going off that, I mean, we've seen some errors today as well. I feel like definitely the wind, the conditions might be getting, into the game a little bit and just starting to make a little bit of an impact.
Full count, payoff pitch coming, and this is looked at for ball number 4, so Burris gets the free wave onto first base. That brings up Whittegren.
17, Brooklyn Whittegren.
The designated player, she reached on a single, made it all the way up to second base, but no further. As next offering, little bunt shown. It's going to be a fielder's choice on to first in time. And that will advance Burris up to second on that fielder's choice play.
And Coach Coleman calling that one safe. I saw it as out. Umpire saw it as out, and rightfully so. Just a little bit, about 2 steps it looked like, short of the bag.
But Whittegren showing off that speed. I mean, being able to get that close to first base off that little of a bunt, very, just dynamic.
Bryn Meyer steps in 0 for 2 today. First offering goes outside for ball 1. She's been victim of a line out and a fly out, both to the third baseman. One 0 count. With 1 out, next offering, this one's going to be shot down the third base line and foul for strike 1.
Luke, I know you brought up conditions a little bit here. I went and just checked. Not really much has changed. Winds are still out of the west-northwest at 17. It's 60 degrees. That makes the air a little bit denser.
And this one's blooped onto short, off the ground, and throw down to third. And they're going to get the third baseman. Now we got a pickle between second and first. It's a run back. Sliding down, safe at second base is Meyer. But a lot just happened there, gentlemen.
That was super crazy there. Burris, I think, very late on her takeoff. I think she probably could have taken off a little bit sooner. That didn't end up in Meyer. I mean, she saw the Burris go over to third. That was super late there, leaving first base. You would have expected her to just stay, and that was super risky to get herself into that pickle.
But just, I mean, they did a great job of getting to second.
Yeah.
I mean, getting out of that pickle and just being able to, find the small little bit of an opening in timing and getting on to second.
Yeah.
It looks like we have a change at who will be up to the plate. That is, if I can, Ella Timmons. She takes over for Addison Wolf. With 2 outs, swinging foul ball. So that makes this an 0-2 count. As Eubanks will kick in deal, ball outside. And the next offering, this one's going to be shot just over Brandon's head and foul.
They have been hitting them really over on my side of this end, and it's with no net here. It's really a little bit just like you got to jump for a second, just like, okay, is the equipment going to be okay? Okay, now am I going to be okay?
And this one shot straight up in the air. First baseman has a beat on it, calls everyone off, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 runner left on, no errors, no runs scored. As we head to the top of the 5th inning next, this is Inside the Lines Media.
If you know what this feels like and sounds like, well, I think it's about time to get your hands on your very own Gandalf bat. Every single bat has its own special personal touch. Whether it be your name, your team color, your own specs, or even your team logo. You just tell me what you want, and it goes on the bat.
And back out here at Russ Milligan Field, it's starting to get late. It is 4-3, Center Grove on top of New Pal, as we are getting very close to the start of this 5th inning. And gentlemen, we have a pitching change for the Trojans on Brandon. What can you tell us about Kara Beaver?
Yeah, Kara Beaver, another one. She's always good here in this second pitching position. Always has come in through her whole career that I have watched her, last year especially, always very strong in this position, second up. She's always able to come in, back up Riley, and just pitch solid innings. She's very good at her craft. She's very good at her pitching. I would expect her to do exactly what she's done all season long. Maybe a little bit of trying to get in the zone a little bit here to start, but then once she finds that rhythm, she will be smooth sailing from here.
And so Riley Fear's day is done after 4 innings. Beaver's first offering is looked at for ball 1. She faces the 8-9 hitters, then back to the top of the order. As Beaver will kick and deal. That one bounced off the turf for ball 2.
Over in the bullpen, senior Addie Reed already also getting loose.
Possibly looking to come in for a save opportunity. This one taking strike 1 right down the heart of the plate. And Beaver will kick and deal. Ball outside. That's ball 3. Makes this a 3-1 count.
Lots of pitches here starting on the outside. Going to probably try and see something a little bit closer to the plate, maybe onto the inside of the plate here, trying to throw the batter off.
And the 3-1 away. Ball 4. Take it. So Gooden reaches on a 5-pitch walk.
Now batting for the Dragons, number 3.
And that brings up Callie Cromwell. Lefty on righty matchup, and ball 1 looked at. Runner on first base, 1 ball, no strikes, and ball 2.
Now, I don't know who is in charge of the lights or if they're on a timer, but at 7:07 in the late April.
And that's looked at for strike number 1.
In late April, as we're entering the month of May, the sun is still pretty high in the sky, so it's interesting to already see the lights on.
And the next offering taken for a ball. That's 3 balls, 1 strike. And up to the plate is Morgan Hutchinson, a senior. Strike 2 call.
This will be Beaver's first full count of the night, and she will have a runner on first to contend with. So she's going to want to try and throw something to catch the batter off here.
And next offering inside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start off her opportunity.
Now batting for the Dragons, number 12.
And
Dye.
Peyton Dye will come to the plate. And first offering taken for strike 1.
That pitch there is hit off the tip of the bat. Just that pitch outside there. One you've really just got to be watching for.
And that one's looked at foul for strike number 2.
With bunts like that, pitches that get off the top, and those are ones where it's just like you just got to stand there. Got to maybe angle the back a little bit, but at that angle, she probably just got it there on the top of the barrel, and that would take it backwards.
And next offering goes away on the wild pitch, and that's going to put runners on second and third. So 2 runners in scoring position with no outs here and a 1-2 count.
And that is something you do not want, is a pitch that goes that wild, which will now put 2 runners to possibly be able to take the lead.
And a foul tip back into the net.
I think a nice off-speed pitch would be good here to try and catch the batter out swinging and get at least 1 out on the board.
And ball outside. Takes this count even at 2-2. The runner on third is the tying run. Runner on second is the quote-unquote winning run. As the next offering misses, ball 3. Another full count.
Back-to-back walks. It looks balls. Looks like she is pitching still at her full strength. Maybe trying a full speed would be good.
And this one's going to be blooped down the right field line and foul.
And I don't know why Riley Fear is standing out near the circle unless there's some sort of strategy there. But I believe Riley, okay, it looks like she is just standing out there just as a guard. It looked a little confusing there when Meyer went over there. It looked like Fear was out there for some reason.
And the 3-2 away, swinging, strike 3.
And that's one she needed. There was one to go right across the plate and to catch the batter swinging. That's what she needed to do. Couple pitches sooner than she did, but she did it. And that will now get 1 away and will hopefully add to her confidence level and allow her to start getting in her zone.
Amber Hurt steps into the plate, looks at ball number 1 outside.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of that outside. You know, Beaver just a little too far outside. She found that balance right there on that third strike at the last batter. So we'll see if she can, get there and find that balance again.
With one out, hot shot and almost caught by a Center Grove fan.
That looked like it would have been a very nice catch there. They can't keep those, and too bad fans catching it don't really count for anything.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You'd want to see them get the ball if they put the effort in to grab it,
Ball 2. No, it's not banana ball, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 count with one out. Runners on second and third. Beaver kicks and deals. Strike 2 called.
Corbin, if they had high school banana ball, I'd probably go watch a couple of games just to see what it's all about and see what would happen.
2-2 coming.
I agree with you. I think there'd be a lot of fans there.
And swinging, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Beaver. And that brings up Kara Steele. The first baseman, a victim of a flyout and a ground out in today's game. First offering to her, outside, ball 1.
And for Kara Beaver, Kara Steele for New Pal, one of their best hitters, so she's going to have to be really decisive with her pitches, as that one's going back to the parking lot.
And right off the windshield of a white car behind us.
Yeah, that was maybe about 5 cars down from mine.
It's always been right in that direction. There's a few lines of that parking lot right there it could hit, but it stayed in that same spot.
Yep.
Next offering, bloop back into the backstop. That'll be strike 2. Beaver looking for the payoff pitch. Kicks and deals. This one's a high flyer heading into the trees. And I think it might have been stuck in the trees.
Yeah, that didn't look like it came down. Looks like some of my golf shots sometimes when I'm out playing at a course with a lot of trees and they get just stuck.
Well, I can tell you it looks like all of my golf shots because I'm not a golfer. And this one's fouled back into the backstop.
Neither am I, Corbin. Neither am I. So
I live in the water.
The golf shots into the trees that get stuck are the most painful ones. Not hitting in the water, not hitting it in the end, it's hitting it in the tree.
1-2 away. And this one looked at low for ball 2.
That pitch looked really good there. It could have been made just a little bit higher. I think she catches the low end of that zone, it will be perfect.
2 runners on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next offering, fouled back away.
Steele's done a great job of getting on the ball here. It's just about, getting one not to go out into the far right field. I mean, out of play. It just needs to be able to stay in and find that balance.
This one's hit towards right field, going back on his right fielder, makes the catch, and will retire the side. We had 2 runners left on. No errors, no runs scored. As we head to the bottom of the 5th next, you're watching Inside the Lines Media Network.
If you know what this feels like and sounds like, well, I think it's about time to get your hands on your very own Gandalf bat. Every single bat has its own special personal touch. Whether it be your name, your team color, your own specs, or even your team logo. You just tell me what you want, and it goes on the bat.
And back out here at Russ Milligan Field, boy, that wind is cold as we are getting set for the bottom of the 5th inning. Brandon, I'm going to say the over-under for temperature right now is 57 degrees, over under 2 degrees.
So it is 60 degrees. Feels like temperature is 58. The wind's still out of the west-northwest at 17 miles an hour, so pretty much coming straight out of left field over towards center.
As Taylor Barrett steps into the box and looks at ball one.
Or another way to put the winds, right out into right field. Humidity is low, a dew point of 42, so really that meaning if the temperature got down below 42, you would get some dew and some fog.
Next offering, strike one, take it. And the next offering is blooped down the left field line and foul. And that one I could see laying it out of the tree. So no souvenirs for a squirrel. With the 1-2 count.
See, that one got some laughs, Corbin.
As Eubanks kicks in, deals, a little blooper over the second baseman's glove. And Barrett will reach first base without any issue.
That was a great timed hit from Barrett going over the first baseman's head. You always want those that can get down. It was in the wind a little bit, so if she had a little more power on that one, it really probably could have carried. But it was good for her to have a little bit of a lighter swing on it and get that down in front with the right fielder playing pretty deep out there and right.
Holly Haberstraw steps in as she looks at strike one. Haberstraw has reached base twice, once on a double, once on a walk, as she looks at ball one high. And she has scored both times and helped Center Grove get this 4-3 lead. And gentlemen, that means she is responsible for 2 of Center Grove's 4 runs. So 50% for you math wizards out there. Ball taken outside. A 2-1 count. Barrett stands on first. Here's the offering, and this one goes away, and Barrett's going to swipe second base without any issue.
As a catcher, you want to hang on and keep every ball in front of you. You don't want them to go right. You don't want them to go left. You don't want them to go behind you. That ball going right allows a steal. And as the team that's down, you do not want steals, especially if they're going to add insurance runs.
Swinging, strike number 2 called on Haberstraw. This is the first time she's been taken to 2 strikes. Eubanks kicks and deals. This one's going to be blooped up. Second baseman has a read on it. Misses the glove, and that is not going to score Barrett as they throw into home, but it is going to give Haberstraw the free pass to second base.
And that one there, the second baseman of Fitzgerald, she did one. She turned around and ran. The back pedal wouldn't have really done anything. I would have liked to see something there from the right fielder of Kenna Tweedy trying to get out and really run up and trying to actually get. She has a little bit easier of an opportunity if you run straight at the ball instead of having to turn around, run, or back pedal. I would have liked to see her come up, but one of those you really just hope for, and it didn't really go their way.
Courtesy runner comes in on second base for Haberstraw, and that is Addie Byers. And that brings up Callie Johnson, the third baseman now, into a sacrifice her last time up. First offering, outside, ball 1.
I don't see why Byers would have wanted to go off of second. She has nowhere to go. Barrett's not going to lead because then the catcher's just going to stare down and maybe take a throw and try and get Barrett out. So it would be good to just stay on base.
And this one's a hot shot into the parking lot. That was a loud crash.
Yeah.
You heard everybody in the crowd just give their collective groans as that one.
And they're all on the phones with their insurance agents as we speak.
I couldn't really tell. I don't see any cracks of windshield, so that's at least a good sign.
Strike 2 call.
right fielders now, and first and second base and the center fielder are all going to have a lot of struggling now trying to watch a ball that comes out in their direction. This looks like wind direction has changed now, coming out of left in center field.
This one's fouled back. And
another one.
again.
That one getting really close for comfort for us up here. Having to watch our equipment and hitting off. I think that was the same truck the first one hit off of.
As long as it's not silver in a Chevy, it's okay. Next offering, little blooper down to die at third, picked up, and out at home is Barrett as she dove in. So that saves an additional run thanks to Dye there at third base, and it's the first out. It'll be ruled a fielder's choice.
And Coleman's coming up now. I think it was just telling a courtesy runner coming in. Looks like Casas again coming in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Casas checks in. She'll take over for Callie Johnson there at first base. So runners are on the corners.
And I will think that will change Johnson to catcher. Krupa might go out to third base.
And first offering is pulled back on the bunt attempt for ball one. One away to Krupa, and they are going to send Casas up to second base to avoid a double play. It was also ball two.
No try there. Casas just able to get there freely, still using the speed that she has to get there to second.
Ooh, that one had to sting for a swinging foul ball, strike one.
Yeah, those that go back to the catcher, those are ones that the catcher just has to be prepared for. You got Nurza Steele as a catcher. You're pretty much in one of the craziest positions.
And this one's going to hit fine outfield dirt. And Krupa is going to reach the second base. Two runners come around and score. And Center Grove has added two more. It's 6-3 here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
And Ava Krupa with great contact on that bat, and it's going to get the gap, and she got it to get down and have a lot of power. You want them to have power like that and get down and hit the ground and be able to roll and have a lot of spin on it too. And it had all those characteristics, and it was able to do a really, really good job.
And going back to that Casas stolen base, I mean, the last time they tried to send her to second, she got out. That time she was able to get the decision, get there at her stolen base, and that led to them getting 2 runs off that hit. So just a good decision right there by Casas to get the second.
And a little bit of some changes out in the field with players. It will be Lila Weddle who will take over for Ava Krupa, and then up next is now the sophomore Olivia Alvey.
And the first offering is away. It's swung on, trying to find some space. It does. And that is going to put Krupa up at third.
Harden, great hit there for Kirsten, getting it to have a nice, didn't really stay up there. We've seen a lot of fly balls, I think, sit up in the air for a couple seconds. This one just getting down and just getting on the ground, which is just what you want, what you expect here for these guys.
And it looks like we have a change at the batter. And that
Olivia Alvey.
Thank you, Olivia Alvey.
Sophomore Olivia Alvey, a little bit. I know her a little bit. She also plays golf in the fall, so that is one thing to note. So she has a swing. She has to do transition of swings. Golf swing is obviously not the same as a softball swing, but she has that on her resume as an athlete. So she is a dual sport. Don't really see a lot of softball golf people. You usually see a lot more tennis and golf people, as there is a pitching change.
That there is, and that is Kaylin Hurst who will be stepping in as we will step aside for a quick break. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
And back out here at Russ Milligan Field, Kaylin Hurst will get the nod. She's a senior, as Eubanks' day is done after 4 1/3 innings. Center Grove with runners on first and third. And up to the plate is Olivia Alvey. If you can't get enough of Inside the Lines Media, make sure to follow us on Instagram and give us a like on Facebook at Inside the Lines Media. The first offering to Alvey is up and away for ball 1 as the catcher stares back down. The runner at third, but swiping second base is hard.
So the catcher looks at third, then looked at second. She looked very indecisive of what she wanted to do. I think, should have committed to second, try to get one off and get 2 outs.
And strike called on the outside portion.
We've seen some of that hesitancy at the catcher position today. We saw it in the last inning as well, and it's just been having to, be consistent, make the quick decision making.
Ball called outside, so the double play ball in your traditional sense is no longer in play. 2-1 count with 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Hurst kicks and deals, swinging, strike number 2. And I believe Alvey did get a piece of that one, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a small piece there on the tip of the bat. She will want to really try and get that bat there right, get the timing right. Hopefully her pitches.
And foul ball. That ball wanted a hot dog as it lands at the concession line.
Concession line with no one over there. Not open tonight, but she's going to find a pitch that is hers. She wants one that's down across the plate, and she can get really good contact to the barrel.
2-2 away. And strike 3 called.
That was an interesting call there. That looked like it was outside of the plate here, even though I'm like a couple feet over from you. It looked like it was on the outside edge of that plate and not across the plate. It was an interesting call there.
Brooklyn Whittegren steps in now. Ball taken outside. Catcher trying to frame it the best she can. Whittegren hit into a fielder's choice her last time up. As Hurst kicks and deals. Ball high. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, runners on second and third. As Hurst kicks and deals. Ball 3.
So now a little bit more inconsistency in the pitching. Pitching a lot of balls, not really getting them across the plate. A little bit of a help there will help load the bases up if a 4th ball here is pitched.
3-0 count, swinging, strike 1. So a 3-1 count to Whittegren. As Hurst will kick and deal, foul ball. As that one lands perfectly in a flower pot. A little bit of spring cleaning there as the crickets continue to roll on my jokes. Our producer, Chris, is in my ear saying, I'm laughing. Well, Chris, you're not laughing loud enough as strike 3 is called on Whittegren, and we head to break. Top of the 6th inning is next. You're listening to Inside the Lines Media.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
Back out at Russ Milligan Field, this is Inside the Lines Media, brought to you today by Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company, the sponsor of our Player of the Game. So stick around in our post-game show coverage to find out who wins that award. Ferguson Excavation, the proud sponsor of all Inside the Lines Media content. Lindsey Smalling and the Smalling Group, who's sponsoring today's game. Gandalf Bats, the scoreboard sponsor, and Flory Contracting as well. And don't forget, you could be a part of that sponsorship group. Just email Chris at InsideTheLinesMedia.com to learn more about sponsorship opportunities and how to get your name mentioned on Inside the Lines Media. We start off with the top of the 6th inning. Leading off is Sadie Miller. And Beaver still on the mound. First offering is ball 1. And strike 1 called. Something of note, the relief pitchers who have come in have the same number of strikeouts individually as that one's looked at, ball number 2, as the both starting pitchers had combined. Hurst had 2 strikeouts in that bottom half of the 5th inning, and Beaver had 2 strikeouts in the top half of the 5th inning. As that ball sails foul into the parking lot, didn't hit a car. It's in the empty area.
It looks like that ball wanted to go play some foursquare.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Beaver kicks and deals. This one's going to be blooped down to short. Bears got in the glove onto Habershaw at first in time. And that will retire Miller.
And that was perfect execution, a textbook execution, if you will, there from Barrett. Just getting in front of the ball, getting in the glove, get the hand over that ball to secure it, get the ball out, throw it to your first baseman. Plenty of time there to get that first out.
And that brings up Claire Fitzgerald, the second baseman. Righty on righty matchup. First offering, outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. With 1 out here, top of the 6th. Ball 2. And the third offering is away. Ball, strike 1. Delayed signal by the umpire. I apologize. So it's a 2-1 count. Beaver kicks and deals. That one's high, no question about it. Ball 3. Beaver will kick in deal. High flyer into the Center Grove stands and almost caught.
Would have been another spectacular catch there from a fan. Full count again for Beaver, but this time stolen bases. Nobody on base. So going to be one of those here, 1 out. She's going to want to make this pitch a good one.
And next offering, swinging, strike number 3. And she ends that full count the same way she did the last one, with a strikeout.
And she will pitch that one how she needed to, and off speed, catching the batter out swinging. Those are pitches you want to do, especially in a full count situation when you have been pitching at your full potential or close to your full potential here at the end of that at-bat.
Kenna Tweedy steps in, trying to avoid the 1-2-3 inning. First offering, sent down the first base line and foul.
Wind definitely helped out. Take that ball down, out to the, out of play, just not being able to sit down early enough.
No balls, 1 strike to Tweedy.
And wind direction on the app still says west-northwest. That's clearly coming out of the north.
And next offering, little slap shot down to third, onto Haberstraw at first in time, and that will retire the side. 3 batters come up, 3 batters go down in a 1-2-3 inning for Beaver. We head to the bottom of the 6th next. This is Inside the Lines Media.
Comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
And we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Inside the Lines Media Network. I'm Corbin Lingfelter, joined alongside a very talented crew. Brandon Tripp, who is our co-analyst tonight, and also providing commentary and color analysis, is Luke Shepard. Our producer is Chris Wood. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and due up for Center Grove is Bryn Meyer, Ella Timmons, and Taylor Barrett. As this game is getting very close to having a conclusion and a decided winner, Brandon, name some early players for your Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company player of the game that you are keeping an eye on.
You know, ones I
foul ball down the left field line.
Ones I really want to just really be taking a look at. Taylor Barrett, she's been able to get on consistently here tonight. Been pretty good. Callie Johnson was able to get on. She's been quick. Brooklyn Wedegren, also quick on the base. She did have a steal. I think those are 3 I really want to be looking at.
And that one's off a Dye's glove onto first, not in time, as Meyer reaches on the error on 5, or error on 3rd. And Luke, any players that Brandon did not mention that you want to have in consideration for our Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company player of the game?
Well, before I get to one that he didn't mention, definitely Taylor Barrett. She had the one error early at shortstop, but since then she has been absolutely solid there. So I definitely think that she is a great candidate for it. But Bryn Meyer, I think, as well, is somebody that you have to add on to that list. I feel like she's made an impact just with her batting presence.
And that one bloops over into dead center field. Nobody went down and got it, and Timmons reaches on it. So that will be classified as a traditional single. And just as we had mentioned her name, Taylor Barrett steps into the batter's box, the shortstop. It's a righty-on-righty matchup with Center Grove, runners on second and first. First offering, outside, ball 1. Meyer on second, Timmons on first. Next offering, and a bunt foul.
Hitting off looked like it was just the top of the barrel. We've seen those all night. Bunts that hit off the top of the barrel. You've got to get your bat just up. There's going to be some movement of the bat trying to get that ball to go down. You want the bottom of the barrel to be hit, not the top, so you can get that ball on the ground. You can just get moving.
As Hurst will kick in, deal swinging foul ball.
Barrett saw something with that pitch, I think, and she looked like she just went for it. She just put all her power into that one, but unfortunately didn't really lead to much.
And the next offering, swinging, strike 3 called on Taylor Barrett.
That's one pitch. Looked a little high. You've got to be watching for that, and it caught her out there, and she just really swung at it. I think she probably could have wanted to just hang back a little bit, let that pitch go, get a 2-2 count, maybe wait for another pitch, but instead it will now put her down.
Holly Haberstrode steps in and checks swing, strike 1. One out here early on in the bottom of the 6th inning. Center Grove with runners on first and second. Haberstroh in the left-handed batter's box. Next offering, strike two. 2-0 count. Haberstroh has reached base twice. She's done it 3 times, and she's scored all 3 times. Next offering, outside, ball 1. She has accounted for half of Center Grove's runs so far in today's game, and this could be another one. This one's going back, and it is gone. Home run for Holly Haberstroh. And she brings 3 runs home and makes this a 9-3 game. Center Grove on top of New Pal.
And I'm going to have to now look back here in the stat sheet for Haberstroh. I believe this – let me find it here. If you find it faster than me. There, you can get that. Okay, let's take a look here. So Haberstroh on the home runs before today has hit 3. So this is her 4th one this season. So she has been a very powerful hitter. One, if you look at the average, probably not one you look at, but very much a sleeper. When she gets up power and she gets contact with that ball, it's going to fly.
Callie Johnson looks at strike 1. And that ball just caught a train clear out of this field, gentlemen.
That ball was probably going to go over to the JV field if it had a little bit more pepper on it.
A little bit of a blooper heading towards center field and caught by the center fielder. It's only the second out.
Yeah, it seemed to be a little bit of a dead spot in that wind right there, right in center field. They were just able to launch it, and I mean, they got on the next at the next hit as well. Until the center fielder was able to get to it, but a great hit on the homer by the freshman.
Ava Krupa steps in. As first offering, outside, ball 1. Next offering, low and outside, ball 2. A 9-3 game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 balls, no strikes to Krupa. Third offering goes in for strike 1. As Krupa steps back into the box. 2-1 coming. Hurst kicks and deals. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Krupa reached on a double her last time up. She also has a single to her credit. Next offering, fouled back, and that fools the count up. It's 3-2.
Full count. You're now down 6. You're going to want to get one across here with 2 outs. You want to just get out of here. You want to try and rack some runs up, maybe try and extend this game at this point. That's all you really want to do now is just get to be able to extend.
And ball 4 as Krupa reaches on a walk. She's 2 for 3 on the day. And that brings up Kirsten Harden. Harden reached on a single her last time up, made it all the way to second base.
So, correction there, that is Alyssa Janda. Yeah, Alyssa Janda now up here this inning.
And a courtesy runner comes in, and it's Casas taking over for Krupa.
And a change out there as you're saying that. Lila Weddle taking over out there.
All right.
So lots of changes very quickly in about a minute.
As we get everything all sorted with 2 outs.
Number 7, Elisa Janda.
And Elisa Janda steps into the plate. And ball 1 taken high. So 1-0 count. Next offering fouled back into the stands. That one is caught by a Center Grove fan and thrown back onto the field. And that makes this count 1-1. And that ball is low for ball 2.
Low, and it hit the ground, and it's a good thing Lila Weddle didn't run on that, because that could have ended up being a very, very close one.
Wind picking up, temperature going down. This one's going to be shot towards center field. Center fielder going back, makes the catch, and will retire the side. 3-run score. That was thanks to the Hallie Hyberstraw home run. We had no errors, 1 runner left on. This is Inside the Lines Media.
If you know what this feels like and sounds like, well, I think it's about time to get your hands on your very own Gandalf bat. Every single bat has its own special personal touch. Whether it be your name, your team color, your own specs, or even your team logo. You just tell me what you want, and it goes on the bat.
And we head to the top of the 7th inning, and it's do or die for the New Pal Dragons. Leading off this inning is Lindsey Gooden. Then it goes Cromwell. Hutchinson would be the third batter we're guaranteed to see at the top of the order. But, gentlemen, as I just mentioned, you need to put up at least 6 runs in this inning to keep this game going.
That is a tall order for this team. 6 runs is a lot in 1 inning. It's going to take a lot to get on to base. It's going to take a lot here.
And first offering to Cromwell is outside for ball 1.
And you can see 6 runs get put up. Now in the 7th.
Strike 1, I'm sorry.
In the 7th, you're not really usually going to see a lot of runs, but you never know.
And that one is taken for ball 1.
But we have seen the bats get hot for New Pal before. They started hot, 3 early runs, and then it's been quiet since then, so it's all about momentum.
Next offering outside, ball 2. 2-1 count. Beaver still on the mound for Center Grove. She will kick, she will deal, and clipping the outside portion of the strike zone for strike number 2.
So the 2-2 count, she's been able to keep it close, and hopefully she can just get this one across the plate.
And swinging, strike 3, and Gooden goes down on strikes.
And that's just what you want to do, is get a pitch where you catch the batter out swinging. Those are always pitches you want to keep in your back pocket at all times.
And that was the 4th strikeout by Beaver. And now she faces Callie Cromwell, the center fielder. Strike 1 taken. 0-1 count. Center Grove 2 outs away from ending this game in 6.5 innings. Next offering, foul ball into the parking lot.
Or off a tree into the playground.
0-2 count. Next offering, ball high for ball 1. 9-3 is our score on the Gandalf Bats scoreboard. With 1 ball, 2 strikes, ball 2 taken high.
Couple high pitches there. I think she's probably looking to try and get the batter to think, okay, she's probably just going to be pitching a little bit more wild, and then going to try and maybe catch the batter off here with a pitch that she's not expecting in the strike zone.
Next offering way outside for ball number 3, and that folds the count up. 3-2 with one out. Swinging strike three, drop third strike on to Haverstraw at first and in time to keep the strike out.
That was very, very uncharacteristic of a pitch you would want to swing at. It looked kind of high, kind of outside, really out of the zone. You don't really want to be swinging at those. But right there, Cromwell went swinging for it, and the drop third strike, she could have gotten there, but a nice gather up there by Krupa.
And strike one taken by Hutchinson. That was the 5th strikeout by Beaver in tonight's game. I believe she has more than the other 3 pitchers combined. This one's foul back into the net for strike 2. Yes, she does.
Yeah, Beaver, a really strong night tonight. Just coming out as the the third pitcher and being able to finish the game strong as she's only 1 out away.
And 1 strike away. Here's the payoff pitch. This one's back to Beaver and caught. What a way to end the night.
Wow. That ball went right back at her. As a pitcher, you have to have fast reflexes. I think in sports, you look at race car drivers and it's like those people have very fast reflexes. I think pitchers probably have the second fastest reflexes. They are right there. They've got to just be ready in case of ball. And that ball went right into her bare hand. It didn't even go in the glove. What a play there by Kara Beaver to finish this game.
All right, we will rehash and debrief when we come back. This is Inside the Lines Media Network.
If you know what this feels like and sounds like, well, I think it's about time to get your hands on your very own Gandalf bat. Every single bat has its own special personal touch. Whether it be your name, your team color, your own specs, or even your team logo. You just tell me what you want, and it goes on the bat.
Whether you're dreaming about a full home remodel, adding extra space for a growing family, upgrading your doors and windows, building the perfect deck, or customizing your home from the ground up, Flory Contracting has you covered. Backed by experience, driven by quality, and fueled by a passion for craftsmanship, the team at Flory Contracting is known for being reliable, local, and experienced. Ready to bring your vision to life? Call Chase Flory at 317-474-7826 to schedule your free consultation today. Flory Contracting, where your home is built on trust and skill. When it comes to excavation, Ferguson Excavation is the team you can trust. From site prep and grading to drainage solutions and land clearing, we've got the equipment, the experience, and the dedication to get your job done right, on time, on budget, and with results you can count on. Serving both residential and commercial projects, we treat every site like it's our own. Ferguson Excavation, building strong foundations for your future. Contact Brian Ferguson at 317-538-6686 today. Ferguson Excavation, digging deeper, building better.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.
And back out here at Russ Milligan Field for one final time. This is Inside the Lines Media Network. I'm Corbin Lingpo alongside Brandon Tripp and Luke Shepard. And gentlemen, we have one piece of hardware to give away. That is our Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company Player of the Game. And my understanding is we have 2 young ladies who are in contention for this award.
Yeah, and the one I've been looking at here really since she came in is Kara Beaver. She was the one she threw 5 strikeouts tonight, got all her innings were scoreless, and then just capping it off with that excellent play there. The final out of this game, the ball getting right back at her, just catching it, just a phenomenal play there. She's definitely worthy of it. Luke, I think you brought another name in there of Holly Haberstroh.
Yeah, Holly Haberstroh, the freshman, obviously the one homer from today's game, just finding a dead spot in the wind and on such a windy day, kind of a little bit of a chilly day as it got later in the night, just being able to get one out there late in the game in the bottom of the sixth, just a really strong performance overall as a batter, but then going out and getting the homer in the sixth, obviously a big impact. But, as you mentioned with Beaver, that moment to cap it off at the end was fantastic. So either lady could be absolutely qualify for this.
Yeah, I think Kara more so because she had probably some really good pitching performance. The starters were really a little bit rocky, but when she came in, she was just hard hitting, hammering. She was going at it, and she did a phenomenal job to wrap this game up and hold the Dragons to 3.
Alrighty, so Kara Beaver is your Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company Player of the Game. Special thank you to our sponsors today, Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Company, Ferguson Excavation, Lindsay Smalling and the Smalling Group, Gandalf Bat Scoreboard sponsor, and Flory Contracting. Our next contest that you can watch here on Inside the Lines Media will be coming up on Friday, May 8th, so a week from Friday, and that will be Whiteland coming to Center Grove for baseball. Make sure to join us for that there. Game time and broadcast time will be posted on Facebook and Instagram as well. My many thanks to Brandon Tripp and Luke Shepard for being a part of the exceptional crew here this evening. Chris Wood is our producer and camera operator tonight as well. One final time here on Inside the Lines Media. Center Grove wins 9-3 over New Pal and improves to 12-5. The Dragons will now drop to 9-4. For Chris Wood, Brandon Tripp, and Luke Shepard, I'm Corbin Lingenfelter wishing you a good night and a great tomorrow.
Whether you have experienced a small fire or your property has sustained significant fire damage, Josh Smalling can help guide you in the right direction. Call Josh Smalling Roofing and Restoration Services today, 317-483-3093, or online at jdsbuilds.com.